Very few people understand the stock market. Football Index gives users the opportunity to trade and make money with something they love, the beautiful game. Welcome back to another video. Now the games are coming thick and fast for Tottenham, and this Saturday we are back in the Premier League away at Leicester at the King Power Stadium. It is the 12:30 kickoff. We have got the early one. Now Tottenham in the Premier League at the moment are sat in third place, having played 5 games, won 2, drawn 2 and lost 1. Leicester City have exactly the same record after 5 Premier League games. Tottenham have scored 11 and conceded 6. Leicester have scored 6 and conceded 4, and both teams are sitting on 8 points with Leicester in 5th place. So I've literally just got in from Olympiakos, just returned from Greece. Absolutely nightmare getting from the airport to home. Lots and lots of traffic on the M25 today. But how did I feel about last night? I love Greece. I love Athens. I love everything about it. The food was fantastic. And then there was the football. Absolutely delighted when we went 2-0 up. I didn't think that we deserved to be 2-0 up when we were. But when you are 2-0 up in a game in the Champions League away from home, I just think that you just need to put the game to bed and just win the match. I really do. And we did exactly the same. It reminded me so much of Arsenal away a couple of weeks ago. We did exactly the same thing. Very disappointing to see because, of course, the Champions League game was so important to win it. You know, start with 3 points. When you go to a ground like that are so vocal, the fans are very, very vocal, very, very loud. When we scored those 2 goals and went 2-0 up, I even put on my my fan cam video. So if you haven't seen that, please check it out. The crowd was then so quiet. We quietened the crowd, and the difference was they got their goal just before half time. It was a perfect time for them to get a goal, and like I say, it was like a carbon copy of the Arsenal game at the Emirates a few weeks ago. Exactly the same thing happened. And both games finished in a 2-2 draw. However, positives from the Champions League game last night. We do have a point on the board. It is a very difficult place to go. And onwards and upwards. I can't see that Tottenham would not finish first or second in that group. I can't even think about that. You know, Tottenham are not going to finish 3rd or 4th in that group. So I think that everyone just needs to remain a little bit more positive than a lot of people are, because social media last night just went into meltdown. People are calling for Pochettino to be sacked or Pochettino to resign. I think a lot of people do actually need to think of where we were before Pochettino. You know, I love him as a manager. Yes, I do think that he makes some strange and weird decisions sometimes, but he is the manager. We've got to trust his decisions. You know, after all, he took us to a Champions League final. You know, did we as Tottenham fans ever think that we'd be in a Champions League final? Now that was an incredible journey last year, absolutely brilliant, and you know, let's hope that we can get there again. But I do trust everything that Pochettino does. I do hope that he makes the right changes this Saturday and get our win, because we really do need an away win, certainly in the Premier League. And a lot of our players were talking at the start of the season about perhaps challenging for the title, and now it looks like that we are challenging for the top 4 again. But you never know. You know, Liverpool got beat by Napoli the other night. Manchester City lost at the weekend. So you just never ever know what's going to happen. And of course, perfect time to talk about it, Leicester City. Look at them a few years ago. Who would have ever thought that they would have won the Premier League? So you never ever know. If we get some good investment in January, sign a couple of decent players, and certainly look at the right back position, you never know what is going to happen. So, Leicester's 5 Premier League games so far this season. On the opening day of the Premier League season, they played at home to Wolves. That ended in a 0-0 draw. They then went to Stamford Bridge and played Chelsea. That ended in a 1-1 draw. They then got their first win of the season on the third match of the Premier League season, away at Sheffield United, beating them 2-1. They then won at home against Bournemouth 3-1. And then the first defeat in the Premier League came this season in the last match away at Old Trafford, where they lost 1-0. So, of course, we only played Olympiacos in the Champions League last night, ending in a 2-2 draw. Now, there were quite notable changes in the starting lineup again. Of course, Pochettino loves to change our team around pretty much every week. We are playing, the game on Saturday was the first game against Crystal Palace. It was the first game of 7 that we are playing in this 3-week period. So, of course, there's got to be changes. There's got to be squad rotation. Now, the injury news for this Saturday, the Leicester game, Serge Aurier and Danny Rose could both return because, of course, neither of them travelled to Olympiacos for last night's game. Giovanni Lo Celso, of course, we know is out injured until at least the end of October, when he should return to training. Ryan Sessegnon, he won't be putting on a Tottenham shirt just yet, because he is out again with this same hamstring injury that he had coming to the club from Fulham. He's now got irritation from that injury again, so we won't be seeing him in a Tottenham shirt just yet. Heung-min Son is likely to come in the starting lineup, and he loves scoring against Leicester as well. Not much to say on the Leicester City team news front. Ben Chilwell was actually expected to be available despite a minor fitness issue this week, and Matty James continues his recovery from surgery, so he is the only main player out for them. Now, a few match facts for this fixture. Now, Tottenham's last Premier League away win was in January. It was when we beat Fulham. That last-minute goal, Harry Winks, that is the last time that we won away in the Premier League. But on a good note, Tottenham have actually won 4 of their last 5 Premier League games against Leicester, including the last 3. Now, a couple of facts here that we probably won't want to hear, but Brendan Rodgers, the Leicester City manager, has actually won his last 5 games against Tottenham as a manager. They all came whilst he was managing Liverpool. And Jamie Vardy has actually scored 31 Premier League goals against sides from established top 6 since August 2014. That is more than any other player. Now, big threats for Leicester this season. Of course, Jamie Vardy, we all know what he can do. And, of course, James Maddison. Now, since Brendan Rodgers actually took over 15 Premier League games ago, Jamie Vardy has actually been involved in 14 goals in the 15 games under Brendan Rodgers, scoring 12 goals and providing 2 assists. What a record that is. James Maddison has actually attempted the most shots without scoring in the Premier League this season. The only one of his 16 efforts has been on target, though. But huge threat, those 2, and certainly 2 players that we do really need to look out for. Now, this Saturday, Mauricio Pochettino will actually take charge of his 250th Premier League game as a Premier League manager. Now, his record in the 249 games so far has been 131 wins, 58 draws and 60 defeats. Now, Mauricio Pochettino will actually become the first non-European to reach this landmark. So huge congratulations to him, and what a fantastic manager he is. Now, Tottenham really do need that away win. As I said earlier, the last time that we won in the Premier League was in January at Craven Cottage against Fulham in the Premier League. Now, Tottenham's last 8 games away in the Premier League have finished 2 draws and 6 defeats. That is actually our worst run since a 10-game streak in 2006. So we do really need to put this to bed and get the result at the King Power Stadium on Saturday. Now, again, going back to our away record, now certainly last season, the 2018-2019 season, in the first 13 away games of the Premier League season. We won 11 of them, 11 out of 13, and then lost all of the remaining 6. Now, this season so far, we have played 2 away games in the Premier League, and they have both finished in a 2-2 draw. Now, bearing in mind, last season we actually only drew 1 Premier League game for the whole season, and we played 2 away games this season, and we've drawn both of them. Both of them were away at Manchester City and away to Arsenal, and bearing in mind that we were 2-0 up at the Emirates, and they came back and got 2 goals, so that finished 2-2. Now, I said earlier that Heung-min Son loves scoring against Leicester. Now, there's one person who loves scoring against Leicester more than him, and that is Harry Kane. Harry Kane has actually scored 13 goals in 12 games in all competitions v Leicester, more than he has scored against any other side. So, watch out, Leicester City. Thanks for watching another video. Please do put your score predictions in the comment section below, and even your predicted lineup. What do you think that Pochettino will do? How do you think that he will line up on Saturday to win this game? Of course, it is a very important game. Every Premier League game is important, and we really do need that away win. And a last away win in January, we really do need to do the business on Saturday, certainly against Leicester. Well, anyway, here are the thoughts of Lee Chappie. Please do follow him on YouTube. He runs his own YouTube channel. He also does content for 100% LCFC, so do check him out. He actually thinks Leicester are going to win on Saturday, so here are his thoughts.
Thanks for having me on your channel, Chris. Top man, you really are a good bloke, and I'm sure you've had a good time in Champions League, because I loved it when Leicester were in the Champions League. It might happen one day again, who knows? But at the moment, it don't look like it's on the cards, because we've just lost to Manchester United, who are a top 6 side. We're meant to be pushing for top 6. We need to be beating the top 6 sides. However, we've got you at the weekend, and I think we're going to beat you. I think we're going to win. Seriously, like I say, you've had Champions League football. It's an early kickoff on Saturday. You could potentially be a little bit gassed out by, sort of 60th minute in. I think we're going to hit you on the pace. Brendan Rodgers has announced a fully fit squad on the press conference as well, so we've got no injuries to worry about. So it's a fully fit team. Well, granted, it was a fully fit team at Old Trafford and we didn't turn up. Who knows with Leicester? We just don't know what we're going to get, to be honest with you. And that's the joys of supporting Leicester, my local side. Rollercoaster of a ride, especially with the Premier League win. And funny enough, it's one of those things, It's 12 wins, 12 losses between Leicester and Spurs. 6 draws straight down the middle between us two. But we do have something you guys haven't got, which is that little shiny trophy next to the screen there. No banter. I'm just stating the facts. No, I enjoy playing Spurs. You're a good bunch, you're a good crowd, and I'm looking forward to meeting you guys down there. But like I say, my prediction, I'm going for it's going to be very close, and it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going for a 3-2 Leicester win. It could be a 3-3 as well on the cards. It's one of them. I'm Lee Chapman. Give me a follow at Lee_Chappie on Twitter and on Instagram. I'm also on YouTube with my own channel, so search for me on Lee Chappie, or you can follow us at 100% LCFC as well. We do content over there on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks for having me on, Chris. I'll see you soon, mate. All the best.
Lee, thank you very much for your words there. I'm not sure how that's going to go down on this channel, of saying you haven't got one of these in the corner, a Premier League title. Yes, huge congratulations, you've got a Premier League title, but having Champions League football year in, year out is just absolutely fantastic. So hopefully you can dream of that and get that back one day in your lifetime. Anyway, my prediction for the game, I'm actually going to go for a 2-1 Spurs win, and I think Harry Kane will score, and I think Heung-min Son will get the other one. So, as I said, the Leicester v Tottenham game in the Premier League is the early kickoff on Saturday, 12:30. Other games in the Premier League on Saturday, Burnley v Norwich City. I'm going to go for a Norwich City win. Pookie is in great form, and I can really fancy him to get another goal. Everton v Sheffield United. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Everton win. Manchester City v Watford. I'm going to go for a 4-0 Manchester City win. Newcastle v Brighton. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Anyway, let me know all of your score predictions in the comments section below. I cannot wait for Saturday. Tottenham really, really do need this away win. Let's do this. Come on, you Spurs. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you like the shirt I've been wearing in today's video, you can order one of these shirts and many, many more from Toffs.com. You can also get in touch with them by email. It is Enquires@Toffs.com. All of the links are in the description box below this video. They have an absolutely superb range of retro Tottenham shirts, so don't miss out. Very few people understand the stock market. Football Index gives users the opportunity to trade and make money with something they love, the beautiful game.